Forced anything is not going to work. That's why Don't Look Up. You can read the tweets of, you can almost hear how people are pressured to say that they liked it. And I like Adam McKay. He made Step Brothers. He's made great, funny movies. Great director. But Don't Look Up was just like, it felt like a Toxic Avenger movie meets like Armageddon. Like, remember the movie The Toxic Avenger? Like, it was made bad. The jokes were kind of out of touch. And it's this whole unrealistic scenario where this scientist discovers a comet that's going to hit Earth and destroy Earth. And then, like, media personalities don't take him seriously. The president does. It's just so unrealistic. But the reason why it's unrealistic is because they did, like, this transparent metaphor for climate. You know, Leonardo DiCaprio produced it. And then when it came out on HBO Max or whatever it's out on Netflix or whatever, he tweeted, like, climate change. You know, he did his usual, like, robotic, you know, the kid just tweets about climate change. He's hilarious because, you know, he tweets about climate change and then he gets on a private jet to go make girls sign NDAs in Miami, and he just bangs them by the 20-year-old fold. I mean, the kid has, talk about a potpourri for Christmas that Eastside Cheesecake sent me. Leonardo DiCaprio gets a potpourri of 20-year-olds in a box every week. He's on renewed subscription, and his lawyer is on retainer because that kid sends out more NDAs than I get fucking spam mail in my AOL email box. That's how his lawyer works around the clock, dog. His lawyer works like a postal worker. Leonardo DiCaprio, do you think he's had sex with one woman who has not signed legal documentation before? That's why you haven't heard anything about Leo. I mean, these kids like James Franco who are just trusting humanity, who are just trusting people to do the right thing. It's like, dog, get your lawyer. You can flirt with a girl and say, yeah, I'll put you in a movie, all this, but I need you to sign this. I need you to sign this. And then, you know, they're not going to read. Hoes don't read. They're not going to read the fine print where it says whatever he promised you is not going to come true. You know, you can't talk about it on social media, all that stuff. You know, that's what I love about Leo. That's what I love. And here, this is a person who believes in climate change. I believe in climate change because it's happening. I believe in science because it comes with rigor. That's why I don't believe anyone who tweets anything about COVID, if it's not in a medical journal or it hasn't had like many studies about it, that's just not what Western science is about. The reason why people have come up with so many conspiracy theories is because they're behind the ball. This is new. We've been fucking biologically nuked. They caught us with our pants down. So we don't know a lot of things. They're learning. But this is coming from somebody who believes in all that stuff. But when you do these, like, when you watch the movie, it just smelled to me like it was made by climate gobles. It really just felt like a propaganda film. It was too strong. It was too strong-handed. And then the tweets don't seem genuine. Everyone's tweeting, this is the most important movie of our lifetime. It has an important message. Yeah, but was it good, though? I'll give it to you. The ending was kind of decent. Because everyone died and I was rooting for the comment. But even the end was corny. Like, things were floating in the sky. You know, there was like stop signs and mugs and stuff. It looked like the F is for Family beginning. It looked like a Simpson episode. Like, the genre was all over the place. And the comedy was just kind of, you know. I liked Step Brothers better. I'll just say that. I wasn't a fan. It wasn't rooted in any reality. Not to say that, you know, Pet Detective was rooted in any reality, but it doesn't purport to be. You know what I mean? There's a difference when something's just silly and the subject matter is silly. But then when you try to do like this, like, very heavy-handed message movie, this almost feels like what the movies that Ben Shapiro's studio is going to make, where you're watching it and you know those movies are going to be like, take your gun out, partner. I bet you he's making like Western movies and like they're all going to be like, the script's going to be like, well, you know, our founding fathers always said you got to guard freedom because the first thing the Nazis did was take away your guns. And then you're going to go, hey, man, just chill out. You know, I'm talking about an email I sent you that, you know, it's like, it'll just be like forced in there. It'll be like, hey, man, I just asked you if you wanted to get some ice cream. and everything will be like corporate sponsored. Do you mean Haagen-Dazs ice cream? They'll be sitting on the baseball field. They'll do that cliche, like, because Ben Shapiro has his own like studio now. And he's making movies. They'll do that like old cliche. Jay Harvin says the movie wasn't rooted in any reality, coming from a guy who made waves in his career by playing a fake woman. Good point. Good point, Maurisa. So his movies are going to be like, they'll do that cliche scene where there's two guys playing basketball. You know that scene where it's just like the main character, the protagonist, and his best friend, and they're just shooting hoop, as that's what like guys do when they're talking about a girl. Like they're talking about like a girl and their new feelings for a girl, and you can clearly see that the actors don't play ball. It's like Philip Seymour Hoffman and Ben Stiller, like just throwing at the backboard. It looks like my wife playing hoops. They'll do that in the Ben Shapiro movie. It'll be two guys going like, hey, man, George Soros is behind these protests. By the way, man, what do you think about this girl? Do you think she loves me? I don't know, man. The jokes will be like, I don't know, man. She came to the party wearing a mask. That's a red flag for me. I don't know, man. You can't trust these New York girls. Oh, man, but I know she wants to settle down in New York. You're going to settle down in that liberal wasteland? I don't know if you could trust her, man. I'm telling you, though, this girl's the one. Hey, brother, listen, I'm your best friend. I would tell you. If she said to settle down in Plano, Texas, I'd have another opinion. But this girl has parents for a cuck, and she can't make her own decisions. Next thing you're going to know, you're going to tell me you're in love with some non-binary girl. It'll be Romeo and Juliet, made by, what is it called? The Daily, what is it? His production company?
Well, look here. Here's his first production. Run, Hide, Fight.
A run, hide, fight centered around a 17-year-old high school student protecting herself as her schoolmates during an active shooter. I want a meteor. I want it. I want more COVID. I can't live in this world, dog. I cannot live in this world. Well, Leonardo DiCaprio is making climate global videos, and now they're making fucking Charlton Heston fucking global videos. I can't do this. Can we get back to normal movie making? This is going to force me to watch the Rock movies. This is going to force me to watch Chasing Cars. Oh, my God. Of course, his first movie is a thwarted school shooting by a woman who is armed. By a kid who is armed. Daily Wire. It's called Run, Hide, Fight. Now, this is the thing. This movie is not a propaganda movie. This is just a good old clean, this is a gut-wrenching film that does not offer easy talking points, which is why liberal Hollywood executives have refused to distribute it. I'm sick of hearing this shit. I'm sick of fucking hearing it. I don't want to hear it anymore. I don't want to hear it. We're so partisan. And that's why Marjorie Taylor Greene has started a hashtag called National Divorce. This is a member of Congress calling for a civil fucking war. And you know what? I want it to happen. I want it to happen. I want to have a last broadcast of Long Days that goes like this. Hey guys, we're shutting down production, and you just hear fucking shots in the background. And then I just go, we just lost Jesse. Jesse is down. They're climbing through the windows. This is Long Days signing off. Your long day's finally over, baby. Beam me up, Scotty. Jesus, I'm ready. Beam me up, baby. So Marjorie Taylor Greene said after Democratic voters and big donors ruin a state like California, you would think it wise to stop them from doing it to another great state like Florida, brother. Brainwashed people that move from California and New York really need a cooling off period. Now, she quote tweeted this, responding to this tweet. Again, this is a member of Congress in the United States of America. And you wonder why China is confident right now. Okay? We are Jake Paul, and China is Tyson Fury. They're real, at least. Meaning we're seemingly strong, but if you put us up against another real boxer, we're probably going to get fucked up. So she quote tweeted, "I support actively discriminating against transplants like this through legislation. They shouldn't be able to vote for a period. And they should have to pay a tax for their sins." I mean, these are like Hitler tweets. That's like what you'd hear because Hitler didn't play like mind games like Putin or General Z. He just said it. Hitler just came out and he said it. He just said, "Hey man, yeah, they need to pay for their sins." And you're going like, "What are their sins?" And they're going like, "I'll be the judge of that. Let me decide what their judge." First, their sin is being a cuck. Their second sin is coming from California, which is cuck land. Their third sin is voting a party and having opinions I don't like. Basically, number 3, they're a cuck. So they got to pay out money. This is the vague type of shit that's happening now. Like those abortion laws where it's like, if you assist somebody in getting an abortion, you're like, wow, that's fucking vague, dude. You're basically putting a bounty on people's heads and you're turning citizens against each other. And now that's been codified into law. And then you're hearing a member of Congress go, like, vocally supporting a tweet that says that people who move to another state should have to pay tax for their sins and they shouldn't be able to vote for a period. And supporting a national divorce scenario. And if, national divorce is basically the let's go Brandon of let's get this civil war started. That's what national divorce is. I don't think a divorce would be amicable. I don't think it's amicable. Going, hey, okay, you guys go over there. You guys have your non-binary parade. We'll have our American flag parade. There was actually one scene in the movie, Don't Look Up, where at the end, I wanted to throw something at the TV, and my co-host, God bless her, Olivia Harlan Decker on Unleashed. Go listen to it if you're a sports fan. She tweeted she loved the movie, and she said it had a very important message. A lot of people did. I just disagree. There were some good moments. A lot of people tweeted immediately, like the movie of the year. Like it just feels like that forced thing where Hollywood's going like, this is it. There was one scene at the end where they're walking into Leonardo DiCaprio's house to have the Last Supper, right? They're dying. They know that the meteor's coming. They have this calm dinner where they're talking to each other. Pretty cool scene because everyone's dying, right? And when they're walking into the house, I kid you not, and you can watch it. They're walking into the house. The next door neighbor has an American flag hanging off the front of their house, and then the house one down has a rainbow flag hanging on their house as they walk in. And I wanted to go, thank you for your subtlety, Adam McKay. There's just like two Americas and two movies for different people now. That movie's just going to convince people who don't believe in climate change to double down because it was so annoying. Why does my nose itch? Yanni playing with his nose more than Leo plays with 18-year-olds. Yeah, I don't know why it itches.